Hello, this is Par for the Discourse. It is October 18th, 2021. I am Erica. This is Nicole. Hi. Let's see, Par for the Discourse. We're like two girls from Brooklyn and living in Brooklyn, living in Madrid, talking about what COVID has been like and et cetera, since my dog is over here like dreaming, I think.
It's mindless banter. Call it what it is.
Yeah.
It's mindless banter and observations.
Yep. So I'm in a jungle. I really tried to look as jungly as possible today.
No, it looks good. Things are thriving.
Yeah. Today is my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Rachel.
How old is she? Well, she's about 4 years younger than us, no? 39?
39.
Yeah,
I just did that math in my head really quick.
That's not impressive.
Yeah, I wonder if she'll make a big deal out of next year.
Today is also a Monday, and we are used to doing this on a Sunday, which I should probably bring this up with you now because I didn't bring it up before.
Let's discuss the schedule.
I can't do Sundays anymore. Every time Sunday comes, I'm like, I feel like a jerk. I have to tell her I can't do it because next week I have a barbecue. The weekend after we're going away. The weekend after that, there's a race. Like every week I have something.
And see, we started this when we had absolutely nothing going on.
That's it. So we should be glad that we're actually liberating ourselves here. But today, when I went to work and I was coming home on the beloved subway, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm glad that we're doing this on a Monday because Mondays are like my worst day at work in terms of I finish classes with the worst class that I have all week on a Monday. I have it. And it's just like the most boring group of people, the longest 90 minutes of my life, where it's like, imagine talking to people and trying to engage them and they just like stare through you. It's awful. So I'm like, I need something, like I need a pick me up.
Well, I'm really glad that you are back in the work mode and Mondays are awful.
Thanks.
It's like a Garfield cartoon with you over here. Because it seems like Monday, I don't even know what day it is over here. I said, I think the last time we had talked that Ronnie and I are looking for a house upstate. So I'm like removing myself from thinking about, well, I'm probably looking for some short-term things while I'm down here to make money, but I'm looking for a job when I'm up there. So I'm still in this like limbo of work, but it also seems like so is the rest of America. There's strikes, there's unemployment, there's people that don't want to go back to work, there's all kinds of things, but Broadway is back.
Oh, well, there you go. On the Ritz.
And that is just like, that's the false notion of New York City, is that things are back and they pumped a lot of money into getting the arts programs going this summer. And it's not, it's grease, putting lipstick on a pig kind of we have a real big problem here in New York City, and I don't want to leave, but I'm out.
It's time for the next phase. Time to see what else is out there.
I'm out. Ronnie keeps saying I'm just done with the rat race.
Yeah.
It's time.
I wonder if that's like a reaction to what's going on and the changes of the city, or if it's just like you're in a different phase of your life now.
Yeah, because I'm not running away from anything. I know I talk to like these neighbors, and they talk about how things are just changing so much. And I'm like, listen, I'm not running away from anything. I'm not afraid of change. But it is a good time for Ronnie and I to think about property and stop paying rent and have some space. And we can't do that here. You know, I think there was a time we thought we maybe could. So anyway.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm in this limbo of like not going back to work, and it's driving me nuts. You know, I have a little bit of work from home things that I do. Oh, I helped out a friend who has an elderly parent on Friday. Got paid $20 an hour to adult babysit. There's nothing funny. He was a very nice old man.
Was this diapers or was this?
Well, they asked if I was able to do that, and I said no. So then, you know, I'm only good to just sit and you know, get him things that he needs.
Get him treats.
I made him lunch. I warmed up his coffee and, you know, helped him, you know, get things. But I was, there's like this whole contraption to get him in and out of the wheelchair to his bed. And
oh God, he's that bad.
yeah. Yeah. And it's not even that I don't want to do it. I'm not trained on how this works, and I don't want to hurt him. And, but I got him like ready to get in it, like with this harness. So I did a lot more than I was asked to, because I thought at least let me try. And he was helping me and walking me through it. So he wasn't like, he had a good sense of humor. And she said, wow, you must have charmed him, because he's really mean to a lot of the people that come to help. So what happened last week was in New York City, you have to be vaccinated for a lot of these places. So I'll say one of his aides that was coming on a regular basis is Haitian, and her community, they were against this vaccination. And I think she actually told my friend that I was going to get it. I just wanted to wait. I thought it was too fast. It was just a lot of her fear. And I don't think she was informed that she was going to lose her job. And so she was let go. A lot of people were let go.
They didn't give her a warning. She must have known that was.
That's what I asked. I said, there must have been some communication that if you don't go and do this, and then even if she did go and get the first shot, she needed to, you know, and there just was some, or I don't know if they were calling bluff on like whether or not they were going to be fired. Like, did people think that wasn't really going to happen?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is how it kind of rolled into me helping out for a couple hours while my friend needed to go run some errands, because she's now helping her father. And there's a lot of that stuff she doesn't want to do, but you know what I mean? I mean, she doesn't want to change her father's pants, you know what I'm saying?
I can see that the guy could be mean to people. If you have different people coming in and out, and you feel like
well, up until recently, he's had two people that were consistent that like split, but he's got like two people 7 days a week.
How long were you there for?
3 hours.
Okay, so you had to like make conversation and stuff.
So I did the dishes.
Did you like hang out with the guy?
He was watching his shows. It was like kind of during a period of, and then an aide came and spent the rest of the night, like gave him a bath and
you're like, you're like a nice candy striper, but you got paid for it.
Right. A nice candy striper. Yeah. I had a short skirt on and everything.
I am picturing you.
Yeah. So I did the dishes because I thought it was the only thing that I could do. It was, I'm not a clean freak. I've told you this before, but I am I like things to be put where
Orderly.
I put them.
Orderly.
And I also really need clean, not clean, like, you know, just cleared off surfaces. Like if I come home and I have
Junk.
things, I have a space to put them down because I don't have clutter on surface in the house. And this house had just, it was just a lot of stuff.
Hoarding, or what was it? Or just,
No, I think just disorganized and nothing was put away. It was a lot of things out.
that sounds like an interesting little side job. that
Well,
had.
you can't push that on anyone. So I did the dishes.
All right, well, that took up 5 minutes, I'm sure.
But I'm telling you, I was like very attentive. Like I kept asking if he needed anything. I got him a snack. I made him lunch. But in the meantime, I just kept looking around going, how could I help?
The girl came home and the whole house was like rearranged. The couch was in the other direction.
I wouldn't have done that. The furniture was where the best it could be. It was just a lot of like I wanted to build her cabinets with cupboards to
Yeah.
things away. There was a lot of baker's racks, which are cute. Baker's racks are great, but just
Crap all over it, yeah.
yeah. And so then she's got these it's all brand new. The whole house got renovated and she rents out 2 apartments upstairs. And so it's a brand new kitchen. And then I looked in the upper cabinets and the upper cabinets are kind of empty, but there's stuff all out on the counters. Like use the space. Like I wanted to organize all the cabinets and show her how much room she could have if she was organized.
These are skills that people who live in the city and in small apartments should know and have.
Yeah, but also that doesn't bother some people.
Or
Like,
yeah, that's true.
It just doesn't bother. And it's just me. So yeah, somebody has to ask you for their help if they want it. They can't. So anyways, that's what I did with my antsiness, because I could help out in this way.
Yeah, I had that feeling when I lived in my last place, like that claustrophobia. And I'm not even a person that has a lot of things. I actually consider myself to be a minimalist. I could share a closet with another person and be like, all right, I don't have loads of clothes and things like that.
Yeah, I would love to be more minimalistic. You are bordering a real true minimalist.
But then what happens is when you have a bigger place, then you're like, oh, I can start cluttering that up. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the goal, is to move into a house, which will, automatically more square footage, an attic and a basement, and move into more space with less stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of plants. Yes, a lot of plants. Plants are all right. They can take up space.
I'm starting to wonder if I don't know if this has ever happened to you. We've been having a severe mosquito problem in this house. Like
you told me, yeah.
It's every night Violetta wakes up. It's mostly, hi, dummy.
Mosquitoes?
Every night wakes us up. She's like, I can't sleep. And I killed 5 or 6 yesterday, huge ones. And I'm like, there must be a nest.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I don't live in a humid climate. So it's got to be maybe in the plants, like from watering them, maybe. Do you think? Because I was trying to read to figure out where it would come from. And the main culprits are often like air conditioning pools of water, which the air conditioner is not on anymore.
I was thinking they were coming through the vents or something, but if they think
somebody else told me that too, but we don't really have a lot of vents.
Plants are attracting mosquitoes?
Well, they come, I don't see anything visible, but they do come out at night, which is what they say they do. But then I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of them, because we can't be waking up every night 3, 4 o'clock. And this is Eduardo, turn on the light, like with a vacuum cleaner. I mean, we have neighbors above and below. Like, this is not good.
Wow.
She came in and had to sleep in my bed last night because she was like, I can't go back in there. And Eduardo went in there and slept. And she slept in my room. Even though everything was dead, she's like, I hear buzzing. It's like permanently in my ear. So I started reading, like like the typical citronella thing. They don't like the lemons and the cloves. Like, I'm gonna start putting lemons all over the house. Like, that's ridiculous.
Oh, my mom has a citronella plant. It
Ooh.
smells so good. The oil is from a plant. Like, I didn't even know that. I mean, I assume like it comes from someplace. And it's a kind of a cool looking plant. It's very like, and so my mom said you take the leaf and like rub it on you while we were sitting on the porch.
Okay. Yeah, but see,
I don't think it's helping, but
lives
we're
in a mosquito
outside.
place. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you were outside, but I wonder if you could get that for the house. But I wonder, I don't know, are mosquitoes a problem right now, or
I live
is
in
it
a dry climate, like
gets in your building?
and they always go in her room too, which is weird.
That is strange. Like we get mosquitoes in the back because it's a mess back there.
Well, plus that's like, you live in a place that's a humid climate, but I'm like, I'm not, I get mad in the middle of the night. I wake up and then I'm like, get out of here. Like, I threw the pillow and it was just like a nightmare.
Wow.
It's like, that's like the latest news on my household. That's the nightmare going on here. Mosquitoes. Can you believe it? And I hear Eduardo yelling, it's a mosquito, not a tiger. Go to bed.
Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds like a bat. Like, I mean, that she's like, I can't be in there. Like,
She has a phobia of insects.
huh?
She has a phobia of like insects. Bees, like flies, bees, freaks out. I honestly do think a puma could run through the house and that wouldn't affect her.
She'd be like, cool.
She came home today from school to tell me that she got caught plagiarizing something.
Again?
And no, that was a different thing. So she got
your signature, remember?
no, not that. Like, she had to write a review for a book. So rather than like write what the book was about off the top of her head, she turned the book over to the back where it like gives. And she knows
the jacket of the book.
Yeah,
like,
she knows that that's wrong, right? So I said, so that wasn't the part that bothered her. The part that bothered her was that the teacher said, did you copy this? And she's like, no. She's like, you're lying. And then I guess she made her cry in the class because she was like, you're a liar and I'm going to prove that you Googled this. I said, you should have said I didn't Google it. I copied it off the back of the book. So she tried to turn it around on the teacher, that the teacher's an asshole, basically, and mean. She goes, you don't know how much I hate her. I go into my room every day. I don't know if I should admit this to you, she said. But I go in my room, I look in my mirror and I pretend I'm looking at her. And I do a lot of things with my hands. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like the finger? And she's like, yeah, the whole time. So she's like, probably like looking
at herself.
At herself.
This is what it'll look like when I give my teacher the bird. That's awesome.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad she did admit it to you.
I'm like, well, I guess I should be happy she tells me these things, but
yeah,
you know, I made the mistake of telling her about a time where my mother dipped a quill pen into ink and threw it onto the nun.
Like flicked the.
Yeah, because the nun was like a raging alcoholic and was beating up the kid. I don't know. It was a crazy story. And she dipped it in and went like that and got it all over her habit. Got punched.
She got punched. I know my dad went to parochial school and got the ruler.
So did Eduardo. Yep.
Well, that's nice.
You weren't raised Catholic though, were you? You didn't go, you did all your sacraments?
Oh, all of them.
I never knew this about you because I'm like, you're Italian, probably grew up Catholic. No, I know your mom.
Yeah. My Jewish uncle that's married into the family couldn't believe that I went through all of it. He thought by the time I went to through like the what's the last one? Confirmation. He thought I wasn't gonna go through with it. I did.
Most people did, and then they stopped everything after that.
Yeah, you go to college. I remember it was so funny. It was, I don't know what I was watching, something about college. And like, I did have a couple of friends that were like, oh, you're Catholic, or, like, do you want to go to church on Sunday? And I was like, no.
College people, you're like, no.
And then they would like keep asking to like, then they found their group of people who went to church on Sunday. And no, this is like, no.
Oh God.
Um,
Yeah, those were some interesting times.
what, going to Catholic school? I
Going
didn't,
to,
I
like-
never went to Catholic
No, me
school.
neither,
I just
me
went
neither.
to,
I-
like, Sunday school.
I went to CCD, we called it. It was like on
Yeah.
Tuesdays or after school or something like that.
I was a cheerleader for our Catholic school, like CYO basketball.
You were? Like, go Jesus, like that, or
Oh, it was a basketball. The church had a basketball team. Like middle school, before you get into high school basketball, there was like CYO. Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you didn't have that in your family.
We didn't have that in our family.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Oh, you didn't know I was that Catholic.
No, I'm the only one out of my brothers that did all of the sacraments.
They gave it up.
They went up to communion and then that was it.
Did my sister get confirmed? I don't know. She was, yeah, we both used to just laugh in church all the time. Like, she would try to make me laugh, I try to make her laugh, and then we get like smacked.
Sounds about it.
Be quiet, like the whole
Ooh.
time. We
Well,
were so bad.
Speaking of all this, I think now is a great segue, and this was not planned, to bring up this documentary that you made me watch.
Oh shit. Oh my God. What was it called?
The Way Down.
Gwen?
What was the last name? Shinlin or I don't remember her last name.
Shiloh. Shylock? No, it's not. That's not it. Yeah, I can't remember.
I'll look it up while we're talking.
It's on HBO, The Way Down.
The Way Down.
Way Down, because that was the name of her diet program that was based on Jesus. Put the food down and pray to Jesus.
When you told me you were watching this, I was like, I don't know. You're like, you have to see this. This is some crazy ass shit.
Was it like, I said, it's almost like this Tiger King level of just, are you kidding with me? But then at some point you kind of go, yeah, that's how crazy religion is, that these people, I mean, this is why people just kind of believe what they hear and see on TV. Like
Gwen Shamblin.
That was it.
Okay, so yeah, the premise was, they sounded kind of like, after watching the whole thing, that they were like, what do you call those people? Like Seventh-day. What?
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it was like a post, like evangelist, like these male evangelists who like were corrupt and were being exposed. Like, she swept in and like just captured everybody's attention because she was a female, but she's just as, I mean,
frightening woman, frightening. Like, actually, that's the part that captures you, just to stare at this woman's hair. She had hair like pretty much up to,
and she was very thin.
A bobblehead, like stick thin person. And they would have like those commercials where people would get up, that typical like, I lost 60 pounds with this method. And I'm like, but most of the documentary, they don't talk so much about the weight part of it, but then you see fat people that were in the church. So I don't understand that aspect of it.
Yeah, but then they all kind of said that they were not shamed. Yeah.
They very sexist, very, I don't know. The only thing I got out of it that I totally agreed with, that I could even stomach, was there's one guy, he was like a cult expert. I don't remember his name, but he said something like, yeah, well, basically the way this works is you convince people they're sick and that you're going to help them. And I was like, you know what? You couldn't say it any better. That is what every cult probably is, no?
It's whatever. Yeah, I guess that's the difference between that and organized religion. It's kind of a fine line, but
no, but this was like you can't talk to anybody.
Yeah, you're cutting people out, or like if you're, and then they are like on that Scientology level of like, if you're not with us, you're against us. And that's just where like you have to ask yourself, like, how religious are you that you think your thing is the right thing? Well, what about everybody else?
And you're going to be outed if you question anything, and people are watching you.
Kind of like at some point you got to go, wait a minute, this isn't very.
Yeah, but those people,
good of all people, is it?
Those people were like low level intelligence. I mean, really low level intelligence. It's
just
scary.
easily manipulated, or conned, I guess is the word, right?
For years. But you're right. It's like a Tiger King thing. You're like, this part of our culture exists. This makes up part of the American civilization. This is highly embarrassing, and it's not actually a made up film. This is not like a comedy film. It's real.
Yeah. It was funny. We were talking about the South on Friday night. I had this dinner that I was telling you about before. And I was like, have you ever spent time in the South? And the guy said, well, yeah, I was on tour all through the South. And I was like, that is not like experiencing what living in the South is. When you're on tour, you're staying in hotels.
Yeah, you're isolated from the rest of
you're and of course the people that come to your shows are people who are like-minded people. So of course I'm not saying that all the South is, Confederate flags and racist people, but it's really a lot. Anyway, but the other part of the South, or the Bible Belt, and it's everywhere, but religion is very organized. Religion can go off the rails. Oh, yeah. And I don't, you can be, I think, have God in your life and not have to go to some mega church and give half your salary, because that's what these people are doing.
It actually had that element of like, you feel bad. Like, how can you be that stupid for so many years?
But look at how many people like spend money on their church.
And they're told that if they don't give a certain percentage of their salary, then they're going to hell. And they believe it. What are you going to do with these people?
I don't know.
Put them with the Tiger King people. Put them all on a island together. Which, by the way, she did die at the end. Not on an island, but
who?
The Gwen Shamblin.
Did I not see the end of it? She's dead?
A bunch of them died in the plane crash. The whole thing starts out as a plane crash.
Oh, right.
But then they never really said, like, at the very end.
That's what I mean. Like, we 3 episodes, right?
I looked it up after just to double check, because I was like, did I miss something here? And it was like, no, because they never said they found the bodies, but they must have, because if you look these people up, it says 7 people died in this plane crash. She did, the weird husband, and her son-in-law.
Right. Okay, but that must have been like a couple months ago.
Yeah,
that's
July. I think it was July or something.
So the thing,
May. Sorry,
3
May.
episodes, and then didn't it feel like there was going to be more coming out? Like the way it ended, I felt like it wasn't over.
It could. There's probably loads of creepy stories that are attached to it, but those people are done with, and now her daughter is taking over the church.
Oh, the really skinny one, like that. Oh,
which her husband had died in this plane crash too. She's like, I don't want, she's like standing up in front of the congregation, the very last scene. You probably couldn't see.
Oh man, maybe I'm.
And she was like, my mother, I promised her if anything happened, I would take over. I don't want to, but I'm going to do it. You know, I will do it. And all these people are like fainting and out of
starvation. Oh, you know what, I get off of one show and then I'm watching another one. I'm watching Maid. That's on Netflix. It's depressing. It's good and depressing.
Here we go again.
Yeah, if you want to watch something depressing, I'd
good. that last thing you recommended was.
It's right up on the level of Frances McDermott shitting in a bucket. It's like that level of like, oh, this girl can't catch a break.
No.
All right.
Okay, well, we shall reconvene next week on a Monday.
All right. Mondays. It'll be like a Garfield cartoon.
Yeah. All right, take care. Bye.